Occasionally you may encounter this error. Usually seems to me after a first or second save folder setup. So in my case, I'm showing you this in a PuppyLInux CE4. So, and then I try to take photos of as I went. So at this stage, only way you can turn off and reboot is just power switch for about 3 or 4 seconds, and then starting the reboot. When you reboot though, what you want to do is make sure you do not load up the save folder again. So what you have to do is during the boot process, just toggle down to the PuppyLInux distro that you're trying to fix. So in my case it's CE4, and then so I use the arrow to go down to CE4 in my case, and then you have to press E key to edit. So what happens is if you do that, then it gives you another line, three lines in my case. So you just go down to 1 with an arrow key down at the line that starts with kernel, and you have to edit this line at the end of the edit line. So when you enter again B, you will come to this next screen where it's giving you this choice of the line pfix equals file system check. We need to make sure that file system check always loads up the save folder. We don't want to do that. So where we can do that is just go ahead and change that to RAM. FSCK, it gets erased to RAM, and then end up I think you either escape or return a key at this point, and then so you want to edit that line, and then when you reboot by entering the key B as in boot, you should get to the screen where there isn't a save folder loaded. So it'll just be a quick setup screen in CE4. So then what you do is you have to know where that the save folder is that you're trying to correct. So in my case, it's in let me just go ahead and in my case, we'll just go ahead and close this. In my case, yours will likely be in SDA1, but in my case, I saved the separate partition to a separate folder. So in my case, this CE4 is here. So what you want to do is in CE4 case, it always starts with the PuppyLInux so save. So in your case, depending on which save folder you're trying to access, it may be different. But so this is the save folder, and then I have to click with the rocks filer, and then first we want to make sure that we have to erase this, remove this file. So ECT and then pam.d, and then you will likely to have this login file here if you are getting that pam error. So you go ahead and you simply just remove it. Similarly, you do it with the bin and login. So we go back, and again we're still in that save folder. So bin, and there isn't, because this folder is working fine without the error. So, and then similarly USR, sbin, and there's no login. So that's been so if there is, then you need to erase it and then simply reboot. And when you're rebooting, it's going to ask you if you want to save the save the folder, and you say no. And then when you reboot, you just go through the normal grub booting process. So you have to erase or remove these 3 files if you get that error message. Okay. So obviously, if you have more than one save folder, or you're booting multiple PuppyLInux, you can get into another PuppyLInux and then access the save folder, in my case here, and then correct the problem and reboot, and it should work fine. I hope this is helpful, and that's it for today.